Another new and shiny Space Marine from Games Workshop today. Certainly seems like a nice enough sculpt, but in terms of Space Marine characters, I feel like he might be one of the most redundant miniatures that they've released in a while. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics for another quick look at a new Games Workshop miniature, this one being a limited edition release one for their Warhammer Day celebration. It seems that Games Workshop are thoroughly embracing their own meme today, releasing yet another Space Marine Primaris Lieutenant, and it's one that's very similar in configuration to the one that we get in the Recruit starter set, the Indomitus pattern guy with the Storm Shield. So this guy's being released to celebrate Warhammer Day apparently, which Games Workshop are marking as the 30th of October this year. Apparently both this guy and an Age of Sigmar vampire will be available to order for around about a week. They're not doing any sort of weird promotional things with this one. There's nothing like spend £150 at the Warhammer web store to unlock the miniature. It just sounds like a model that you'll be able to order. The miniature himself is a Primaris Lieutenant with a Storm Shield and Power Sword, presumably a master-crafted one, as that's the option that you can take on the datasheet, and he's got a holstered pistol as well. I guess that will be counting as a Neo-Volkite pistol in-game, though I guess it's kind of hard to see within that holster. Essentially, it's basically the same Lieutenant that you get in the Indomitus box, or in that Recruit starter set, the one that might be just one of the single easiest Space Marine character miniatures to get your hands on, just due to there being so many copies of him out there, and it's very easy indeed to obtain on the second-hand market such as eBay for only around the £5 to £10 mark at the most. I'm certainly not against having alternative sculpts for certain characters, particularly as the Indomitus Lieutenant is one of the ones that's best to field in-game. He gets a 4+ invul save and a nice generalist melee weapon, who's almost always worth upgrading from the standard version, I think. However, this guy just doesn't really seem all that different to me. I do actually really quite like the one in the standard Recruit box. He's got quite a dynamic pose firing that Neo-Volkite pistol, and to be honest this guy doesn't seem particularly ornate or different. He doesn't really have much more in terms of bling going on, aside from a slightly fancier backpack emblem. To be honest, I'm not really sure that I'd know this guy from a standard Blade Guard veteran or maybe a Blade Guard sergeant. His Storm Shield's exactly the same, and his Power Sword seems very similar as well. I guess the only real unique thing about him is his posing. He's standing in a bit more of a pose similar to the Primaris Captain from the Indomitus box, the one with the skeleton on the front of his Storm Shield. I'm by no means saying that it's a particularly bad miniature, but it just feels incredibly redundant, when I feel that you could make something very similar indeed from the current Blade Guard veteran kit, and there's also a really quite nice sculpt of a very similar miniature that's ridiculously easy to obtain on the second-hand market. I just don't really think that this guy has all that much of a unique selling point compared with those, and I'm sure he's going to be at least fairly expensive, more sort of a standard Space Marine character level, probably around £23.50 or $35. That seems to be around about the going rate. Again, I can't help but think it would have been a bit more interesting to have some alternate sculpts for some different factions, maybe ones that haven't seen all that much love for a while. Maybe something Tyranid, Craftworld or Tau might not have been the worst idea. I think whenever they do these limited edition celebration miniatures, they will often just make them Space Marines, as there are more Space Marine collectors than there are of any other one faction, leading us to a dizzying array of Space Marine limited edition sculpts. In any case, besides the miniature, there's also going to be a new preview online on the 30th of October, so hopefully should be some other interesting stuff on the way then, I guess. According to Warhammer Community, there are going to be a decent amount of new miniatures to show, though that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a lot for Warhammer 40k. Games Workshop do have all sorts of different systems. We might be getting things from anything from Necromunda to Lord of the Rings or Age of Sigmar, but hopefully they show us at least something 40k. It'd be nice to know for certain what the factions getting the December codexes are, and maybe any of the miniatures that might accompany them. We've also got that plastic Horus Heresy box that we know is coming at some point. I guess an online preview could be a decent time to show off that. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, both of the miniature itself and what might be coming in the preview. I look forward to hearing your thoughts as always. If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics. I'll certainly keep the regular news videos coming whenever Games Workshop unleashes new stuff or new rules. Finally, if you'd like to help support the channel, feel free to give the links in the video description below a look. There's a link to the channel Patreon and a link to Element Games for some discount miniatures within the UK. Both of those help to support the channel and help keep those videos coming. In any case, an absolutely massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.